it, 'cause it was there. We are sluts.
Welcome back. I have a nice surprise. There will be 4 parts to my interview with Ann Magnuson. Part 4 will be launched in a couple of weeks, but today I am happy to share part 3 of my interview with Ann Magnuson. Let's jump in.
I liked people. I organized the neighborhood kids when I was a kid too. I might have some kind of border collie in me because I love to. It's probably Capricorn. You know, I like to
Make things happen.
Make things happen. Can be a bit bossy. My husband will tell you that. But make things happen. But be part of a group. Be part of a community. Be part of a cast. So I did community theater that my mother got me into. Starting in 2nd grade, I was in The Music Man, and then I played one of the kids in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and I was in Hello Dolly. I was in Our Town. I played Helen Keller in The Miracle Worker. I was a tap dancer in No No Nanette. I was doing a lot of ballet and tap recitals, and all those experiences, those were groups of people. You were one of many people, and everyone was. It was like being in the Girl Scouts or even doing a school event. I mean, you're part of a community, and it's not about setting yourself up as being the king or the boss or the person who all the attention has to be on. In fact, I never really, as I said earlier, I kind of shy away from that when it gets to be too intense. What I like is that we're all having fun together. I always like to throw a party, so it has a lot to do with that. But it's also in the theater, you're a group of people. There's a whole cast. Everyone has a job to do, and you're all fulfilling your job in order to achieve this higher goal, which is to have this experience on stage where everybody, you and the audience, are in this ritual that is as old as, the hills. Theater was created as a religious rite. It wasn't done as entertainment per se, So
In what way?
it's something we need to do. It's like yesterday being at the No Kings protests. It was so invigorating to be around so many people who were there to be positive and to have their voices heard, to stand up, be counted, be seen as wanting to preserve democracy and the right to be contrary, but to do it peacefully. It was a completely peaceful. It was like a festival. It reminded me of the first time I went to Burning Man, which I loved.
Yeah.
I loved it. So yeah, that kind of we're all on the same journey, and it's better to be together on this journey, because when you're alone, when you're isolating, you can go down a really dark hole that's not good for anybody.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you find that now, after going to the protest, that you think about maybe moving in that direction of starting a new project or a new community creatively?
Well, I've already got a community here. I've got a community in West Virginia I've been working with, a musical. We're always talking about recording. I've wanted to record. I have a whole long list of projects.
I bet.
That I have wanted to do before I expire, and it's just getting harder to muster up the gumption as I age. But I've wanted to do this more political. Well, all the shows do have politics in them. You can choose to see it or not. But this one that I an adaptation of what I did in 2017, which has some of the same material and some new material and some great covers that I want to do. And I know this band can do it, but it's just getting the date. Zebulon is a great club here. They'll let me pretty much do whatever I want. I've got musicians in New York I'd like to work with. It's just kind of organizing it all and funding it.
Mm-hmm.
It is easier to do a one-person thing, but it's not as fun.
Right.
I love music being a component of the storytelling.
From her 1996 Geffen release, The Love Show, here is This Nothing Like.
has left an old letter, a few pots and pans, a clump of human hair. He needs to keep digging, digging deeper in there. There's nothing like in stations on trains. There's nothing like through the Iceland in my brain.
So I want to ask you a slightly more personal question. I've been through a couple band breakups that were pretty horrible, maybe more or less than a marriage. And I wondered, how did you recover from the breakup of Bongwater?
It wasn't, I was like, okay, I'm moving on.
Great.
There's a lot of misinformation about that situation that I just don't even want to get into it. There was a lot of misinformation, and
Sure.
I just thought, you know what? I've got so many other things in my life. I don't need this. And I've been in other bands where that kind of band dynamic, it's like there's a recreation of the family in a lot of these scenarios from what I've read from what other people have gone through. And I'd rather be the person who's the leader of the band or the director of the theater piece.
Right.
And then I'm not a strict director per se. I really like collaboration. So once you've really got a great group of musicians in both New York and LA and West Virginia in particular, who I occasionally work with on specific projects, I'm not interested in being stuck in one thing. And that's why
Sure.
I got bored doing an off-Broadway play after 4.5 months. I like doing live performances where I'm given the permission to kind of break the fourth wall, and you can't do that in a play. I've enjoyed doing plays, but I don't do them that often because they feel too confining, and I want that sense of liberation. I don't want the parental supervision. So I've been really enjoying the collaborations with Michael Lipton and the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame musicians, the Mountain Stage musicians. There's an overlap there, and Michael's band, the Carpenter Ants, and I just performed with him a couple of months ago in West Virginia and had a great time. When it's really easy, it's fantastic. But when it becomes a business, like
Right.
sometimes with these bands, and Pulse Llama was difficult.
Really?
It was fun at the beginning, and then some people.
Well, it's another element to working in all female. It's a completely different vibe too.
Yeah, oh God. Well, also, I'd been in plays, and growing up doing all that theater, you do the work, you have fun, and then there's the closing, and then that's it. And then you move on to the next thing. The problem with some of these bands is that if you become even a little bit successful, Pulse Llama got a write-up in a zine saying we're the greatest band ever. And it was really fun, but for me it was more of a theatrical event that I created with Danny Johnson and Andy Weiland and some of the Club 57 girls. And then the thing got a little bigger and more, once there got to be a record deal,
Right.
You're getting into real trouble there because it's people invest a lot of dreams into this and get a bit ahead of themselves, I think, with how important what you're doing is. And then there could be a lot of with Pulse Llama, there was just a lot of, it became very stressful. Like, why am I doing that? I don't need stress. Why am I doing this? I have 500 different things I could do that are fun.
Right.
So when it stops being fun, and I think bands tend to stop being fun pretty early on in the game, and then they become a business, and there becomes all this other stuff that gets into and then you recreating some family dynamic that you you started a band to get away from or something.
Yeah.
But I'm a little, I don't know, this stuff, I was acting, I was doing other things. I didn't need Bongwater, and it just sort of reached its course. I think all these bands have an expiration date, and otherwise you're just out there touring and flogging it, and
One more song from my favorite album, The Power of Pussy, by Ann Magnuson and Bongwater. This one is called I Need a New Tape.
They come in all shapes, sizes, ages, and inclinations. Some are genuinely interested in companionship.
Oh, I wish there were 4 big rednecks down here. Then we could go into the woods and do it wild. I don't need therapy. I don't need religion. I don't need Freud. I don't need faith.
And again, bringing up a sensitive subject, but I was interested from the perspective of, what did you do immediately after? Like, where was your instinct to go
Well,
creatively?
I was already doing things concurrent
Gotcha.
with Bong Water. I wasn't just doing Bong Water. I was on Anything But Love. I was
Oh, right.
auditioning for films. I went on to do Clear and Present Danger
Sure.
with Harrison Ford. I was doing art shows. I was doing all these other things at the same time. I've never just been in a band.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I didn't invest. When you're growing up, I guess all parents do this, but there's a lot of these homilies that, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
And that one really stuck with me. When I was really, really young, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And then, of course, I knew that when I first told my dad I was going to major in theater and cinema, which was what the BFA was in, he said, "And don't get involved in the theater. It's full of unhappy
Wow.
people."
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of dramatic
Yes.
people involved in the arts, but human behavior is you're not going to get away from that. Getting into law or medicine, I mean, it's
No.
you just have to go where if the wind is blowing you in that direction, you go there. But I have to say that again, with the theater training, is that somebody decides they're going to put on this play. You get a script, you read it, you audition, you get a part, you learn the lines, you learn the blocking, you do the rehearsals, you do the costume fittings, you get into the final tech, and then you open, and then you perform it for the audience. And then it runs there's a prescribed amount of time, there's an end point, and then you finish, and you're on to the next thing, hopefully. So that already trains you to understand that these things are finite,
Right.
and that you move on because that's the nature of the craft.
Sure.
I know love is a cynical girl, and she lives in a cynical world. You've seen me push you around, but now I just don't know what to do with you. You see, love is a cynical word, like salt on the tail of a bird. To catch her is simply absurd. You see, makes you feel sad for the girl. She may not belong for this world. Oh, love is a cynical girl. You know we live in a cynical world. And we have to dive deep for the pearl.
That was Cynical Girl from Pretty Songs and Ugly Stories, self-released in 2006, and later on Asphodel Records in 2007. I guess, the weird thing is, like, to me, I love you as an artist, but to me, there's an element of feminism that's almost covert in the work that you do. Does it ruin it to talk about it, or can you talk about that? Okay.
No, not at all. In fact, I'm always surprised people don't see it, and I've been criticized in the past for it because it's probably if you lay it between the lines, maybe a little too deeply. And people certainly in New York around the 80s, if you weren't in your face political, you were.
Oh, like in a punk rock way.
No. Well, the Village Voice tended to have people. There was a certain kind of. They're gatekeepers on the left and the right, and they're pretty much the same. They've got a lot of the same mentality, even though I'll take the ones on the left. Well, maybe not. You've got, if you go too far in that direction, you're getting into the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot, They're going to kill you because you don't believe what they want you to believe. And then the Nazis are going to kill you because you're not one of them. And it's all the same, intolerance and a need to dominate, Oh, why isn't blah, 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 blah. It's really hard to kind of survive a lot of that stuff. That's why I do the Homer Simpson. I think I'll just disappear into these bushes here and do my own thing and let you people just fight it out, because you're a big buzzkill.
Is that how you reset? Let's go out in the backyard and listen to the nature.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of that. I'll reset, go to West Virginia, ride a horse, look at the grass. I'm looking at a butterfly fly by right now, and it's, I'm glad I'm from West Virginia. It's the political situation there in the legislature, and the governor is fucked. But a lot of the people are not, and you don't see that in the news. And there's a great artistic community in Charleston and in other parts of the state, little pockets of all this magic.
Well, Daniel Johnston comes from there too.
Oh, yeah. And now Sierra Farrell.
Who's that?
She just won 4 Grammys.
I'm so embedded in the underground scene. I sometimes miss that stuff.
She was very underground.
Oh,
the fact she got 4 Grammys, amazing.
I'm going to add her to the list too.
Oh yeah,
I trust you.
yeah, she's good. She's from Charleston too. And she's been through the mill. I mean, she's had a rough life. She was a busker in Portland and homeless, and she's been through it. So it's incredible that it's great stuff.
One thing I've talked to multiple artists about is just the boundaries of comedy. And I don't really want to talk about cancel culture, but back in the 80s, late 70s, probably 60s too, it was about pushing boundaries. That was part of art, and the
being offensive. I mean,
right.
Lenny Bruce is. Oh yes, in fact, yes. There's a lot that I'm glad was not documented, because we would say and do things just.
Yeah.
And then it was bad taste and just ha, and there was no big deal about it. Because John Waters, you see, was a patron saint.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to eat dog shit, but, if there was. You're brought up with the Chicago 5. You're watching this on television. You're watching the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and this stuff was, when you're young, and I was really young, we loved seeing hippies. We'd throw peace signs at them, but when you're young, it's very exciting to see people fight back domination, and you're watching the Vietnam War every night. Of seeing this horrifying death of American kids. They were 18, 19, and these children and these families and the whole thing was an unholy mess. And we also watched the civil rights. Some early memories were of the footage down deep south when they were trying to integrate the schools. And I'm happy to say my parents were appalled at the way the police, and I don't know if they called the National Guard in there or the Marines, but I think they did. And the way they were fire hosing people, and it was horrifying. So my age group, we all grew up with this spirit of rebellion embedded. But it was rebelling against innocent people being killed and abuse of power. So abuse of power. But I think that yeah, you get into, Eric Bogosian had some character that he was really into Lenny Bruce. He was playing me some Lenny Bruce stuff. I knew of Lenny Bruce, but I hadn't heard a lot of these records that he would play me these records, and we'd laugh really hard. And he had a character that would just only be offensive. Ricky Paul, I think it was the name, and he'd play in punk clubs.
What was his name again?
Eric Bogosian.
Okay, I'm going to check that out too.
But yeah, the offensive thing, I don't know what to say. I've certainly said some offensive things that, as I said, I'm glad there's not footage of. There might be. You know what? Sometimes you just don't take it so seriously.
Yeah.
Except if it's coming from the mouth of the President of the United States, who's calling in the National Guard and the Marines to terrorize citizens into trying to believe whatever. He doesn't believe in anything except himself. But
I mean, do you ever self-censor?
Oh yes. Yes, I do, because if you have a wicked imagination, and most people, you really do, because we all have the Jungian shadow in us.
Yes.
And like, boy, if I said this, I would really get killed. I didn't even want to say it. I just thought of it, just because it was a hypothetical.
Right.
Or if I did this, but I don't do it that much, because I honestly, I'm older and wiser, and I don't have that kind of lack of impulse control that I had when I was younger.
Right.
That was the great thing about being young at that particular time. You could do this stuff. You could, lack of impulse control was a huge part of the dynamic, and you could do that in a safe space, like dancing on a disco floor. You might do some, or whatever floor you're dancing on. You might make some moves. You don't want to see that on camera, or you don't want to see anything. It's just, you gotta have the freedom to be messy, to make mistakes, to be young, to be stupid, as long as you're not involving firearms.
Here's a 1989 song by Bongwater from the album Too Much Sleep, called The Living End.
Are you there?
Hello. And all this kind of stuff.
My message is unimportant. My message is unimportant.
The world has become so neurotic. Good food, good clothing, and an education, that's all we can do. But it apparently isn't enough.
It's all grass and clover. It's just around the bend. I thought it's almost over. Then they stretched the canvas tighter,
well as being a great artist, Ann Magnuson is also known for collaborating and uplifting other artists, especially the underdog. She recorded and performed an homage to Joe Bryant, a superstar rock singer who was the American counterpart to David Bowie and one of Ann's earliest crushes. Here's Joe Bryant's 1973 major label release, I'm a Man.
So, I'm an elegant man, I'm a man. Clara bows and open toes are what I am. Yes, I'm a man. Yeah, I'm a fragile man, I'm a man. Light of step and soft of touch, a gentleman. You know, I could love you, but yeah, I should love you now. I would love you the way a man loves a woman. I live my life like I've been living in my body, cleanse my mind and soul. So let me be what I am, an elegant man. Yes, I'm a man. So I'm an elegant man, I'm a man. Pierrots and spacious clothes are what I am. You know, I could love you, but yeah, I should love you now. I would love you the way a man loves a woman. I live my life like I've been living in my body, cleanse my mind and soul. So let me be what I am, an elegant man. Yes, I'm a man, and I can love you. Yes, I'm a man, and I can love you. Yes, I'm a man, and I can
I'm just so impressed by the range of everything that you've done. I thought I knew all about you, and I just scratched the surface. Joe Bryant, wow. I love the fact that you're such a supporter of the underdog. And I didn't get a chance to see his documentary yet, but I did listen to his music.
Oh, you'll like it. Yes, I loved his music. I got that album when it first came out. I had to pre-order it. I saw the ad in Rolling Stone. Anything that had a vibe of glam to it.
Yes.
And it was like Bowie and Elton John together because he played the piano so beautifully. I really liked it. I got the second album too. And then I started meeting people. One of the things Christian Hoffman and I first bonded with was that and Lance Loud, is we all had gotten the Joe Bryant album when it came out. So we love that music. And I did a show called Pretty Songs in about 90.
Pretty Songs and Ugly
No,
Stories?
It was after Yeah, it was after Love Show, so it was like a sequel. It was in '96, I guess, or thereabouts, '97. But first we did that, Joe Bryant medley earlier than that. That was the, if I might be mistaken, but I think it was the encore for Love Show, and then it became, but maybe it wasn't. But the whole thing, I wanted to tell that story because I found out more details through Christian and Lance and some other people who worked with Joe Bryant, and I actually had talked to, I remember I would run into Stephen Sprouse a lot in the East Village and in New York, and he and I remember standing talking at length about him doing the costume for Joe Bryant for the second album, I think it was.
It was like a very similar time period to Ziggy Stardust, right?
It was a little bit afterwards, and of course he got accused of just mimicking Bowie, and to some degree he did. And I don't think, I mean, he wasn't managed properly. They should not have hyped him up. They should have just let him be something, not so, maybe not get into the space thing so much, but just be this version of Chopin. I mean, the guy played piano beautifully, and his songs were, it's like classical piano mixed in with this rock music, and I loved it.
From Ann's 2012 album, The Joe Bryant Medley, let's take a listen to Heartbeat.
His name was Joe Bryant, and the story you are about to hear is true. And if he's up there listening, I want him to know. You're our voice on the street. You're the faces that I meet all day. My life is keeping time with your heartbeat, time with your heartbeat ever die. It's no use to run and hide. You'll be running by my side all day. My is keeping time with your heartbeat, time with your heartbeat ever die. Once upon a time, there was a lost boy named Joe Bryant, and like all lost boys before him, he had a dream to achieve pop superstardom. But alas, his dream was not to be. Oh, it wasn't for lack of trying. Joe Bryant had all the necessary ingredients: talent, androgynous good looks, wit, charm, and an excessive amount of hype that no one could possibly live up to. For like Icarus, he flew too close to the sun, and there was nowhere to go but down. Down, 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 down. 6 feet under, to be exact. Ridiculed, dismissed, ignored, but not forgotten. For though he is no longer with us, he lives on in the albums he left behind, full of pretty, pretty songs. And when you hear them, I promise that they will keep time with your heartbeat. Time with your heartbeat every day.
Yeah, it's like rock opera.
Yes, rock opera, which I have to say I'm a fan of. It depends on what it is.
Right.
Depends on what
Rocky
it is.
Horror Picture Show.
Well, actually at the time, that to me seemed like a it was like, that's not as good as Bowie. Bowie's
Well, no, it's definitely not as good as Bowie.
no, but I think it started with Hair. My mother took me to a bus and truck, the national tour of Hair, in like '69 or something. And they even had the nude scene at the end. It was at the Municipal Auditorium. And so I saw Hair. I liked a lot of the songs from that show. And then when Jesus Christ Superstar came out, my brother and I listened to that constantly.
That's weird. I did too.
And then Aqualung was around the same time.
Right.
Jethro Tull. That's very rock opera-ish.
Uh-huh.
And
Queen.
then you had, yeah, I didn't really get into Queen until later. I'm a big fan of Freddie Mercury, of course, but I didn't, when I was a teenager, I wasn't. It was Bowie, then Ziggy Stardust, that's basically a rock opera, and all his albums are, it's theater. And then there was Thick as a Brick.
What's that?
That's Jethro Tull, it's insane.
Oh, okay, I'll put that on my list.
It's insane.
Okay.
Oh my God. I listen to that constantly. That's just, it's so good. And there was, of course, The Who, Tommy.
Yep.
So there was a lot of concept of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. There was somebody else who did. Oh, of course, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, right.
So all that stuff, everything seemed to tell a story. It was all, having done so much theater and watching stuff on TV around the same time that BBC had a series. They had done a drama series of War and Peace with Anthony Hopkins
Wow.
as the star, and it's fantastic. I was obsessed with that. And PBS was then also the same season was playing. They had a D.W. Griffith. I don't know if it was a series, but I remember they showed Orphans of the Storm over and over and over again because they didn't have a lot of programming. They repeated programs all the time. So I saw Orphans of the Storm and that War and Peace series more than anything else I'd ever seen, over and over again. I got obsessed with Dorothy and Lillian Gish and War and Peace and rock opera, and so all of this stuff is the same thing in my opinion. They're epic stories. It's the Odyssey. It's Jason and the Argonauts going to fight the skeleton army and all the other trials and tribulations all of us are put through. It's the Jungian hero's journey. So of course, when the Joseph Campbell interviews were on Bill Moyers, I lapped that up, and that ended up in folk song. So all of us are on this journey, and it's all a story, and it all has whether it's Alice Through the Looking Glass or The Wizard of Oz, that we're all on this journey to survive and make sense of this madness, and also be joyful in the beauty of it all, and not feel alone, and assuage fear and alleviate suffering. So that's all of the stuff. That's what it's for. And whether you're in the audience or on the stage, you're all part of it's all the same journey.
That ends part 3 of my interview with Ann Magnuson. Please share and follow Art Sluts Radio.
Until next time, we're Art Sluts.
We're
Art Sluts.
Art Sluts.
Okay.
One more time.
All right. Thanks for listening to Art Sluts Radio.
Hey, if you identify with the Art Sluts, explore our herstory at artsluts.net. That's ARTSLUTS.net. And purchase downloads of our music wherever you stream music.
All contributions and purchases will go to support the abortion fund.
Currently, 21 states have limited access to women's health care, including abortion, and 15 of those have a total ban.
Talking about your abortion experience, voting, and donating to support abortion rights will make a difference.
I hate to leave you, baby. I don't wanna have to go. It's just my music, baby.